that pulls. I wanna give a big shout out to the riffs. Keep producing that fire. Let's go. Cause when it all begins, my eyes on the prize, so it's on again. I refuse to lose, I ain't gon' pretend. I thought I told you I was born to win. Everybody loves a winner. Victory I choose. Ain't no turning back, cause I paid my dues. I tighten up my laces when I tie my shoes. Born to win, I refuse to lose. Everybody loves a winner. My adrenaline rushing through my veins. Next stop is victory. It's rushing like a train. I'm determined to win, cause it's nothing like the pain of defeat. I refuse to remain incomplete. Got a lot of stamina, cause I trained for some weeks. Got my strength from the vitamins and the grains that I eat. All obstacles overcame, I'm unique. I started from the bottom, see I came from beneath. The sky's the limit, so I'ma raise to my peak. Winning is everything, let me explain what I think. Practice makes perfect, so when working I don't relax. I practice a lot, therefore I'm perfect, and that's a fact. Been through some hard times while the burden was on my back. It was rough, but I was determined, so I adapt. Getting what I'm deserving, holla back. Game over, you lost like a person without a map. Everybody loves a winner, cause when it all begins, my eyes on the prize, so it's on again. I refuse to lose, I ain't gon' pretend. I thought I told you I was born to win. Everybody loves a winner. Victory I choose. Ain't no turning back, cause I paid my dues. I tighten up my laces when I tie my shoes. Born to win, I refuse to lose. Everybody loves a winner. My competition said I wasn't ready to face him. My teammates said I think we need to replace him. All the haters used to say, boo, we hate him. I wanna thank y'all for the inspiration. Waited a long time for my time, I'm anxious. Something like a doctor, cause I got patience. May the best man win, the worst man lose. Last man no choice, the first man choose. I was born as a leader, that's what I gotta be. I don't follow rules, I let the rules follow me. I'm a focused man on the loose, animal out the cage. An ambitious and vicious champion with a rage. What's the difference between a champion and a challenger? A champion already conquered his caliber. You tryna become a champion became. I got more wins than a hurricane. Everybody loves a winner, cause when it all begins, my eyes on the prize, so it's on again. I refuse to lose, I ain't gon' pretend. I thought I told you I was born to win. Everybody loves a winner. Victory I choose. Ain't no turning back, cause I paid my dues. I tighten up my laces when I tie my shoes. Born to win, I refuse to lose. Everybody loves a winner. That's why I eat finer foods, complete wiser moves. I'ma retire you. No remorse for these tired dudes. Let's celebrate the victory. I won like 3 minus 2. It's only what you make it, that's what we gotta remember. But deep down inside, everybody's a winner. You gotta work hard January to December. Finish what you start and you could be a contender. Watch the man in the mirror, look into your inner self, maintain health and never be a quitter. Gotta shine like the sun, flow like the river. You see a chance to win and take it like a picture.
Hey peoples, welcome to another week of the UFL football, and it's playoff time. We've been waiting for this all season. We got the playoff fever. So I think we had some really good games. As you probably know, wild card teams had to play first, and then they would have to play. The penalty for being a wild card is right after that game, you have to play against the division winners. A lot of people didn't like that rule. Having to play one game and then you got to play either the first or second seed in the playoffs. What do you think?
I feel that it's fair because there is no home field advantage or anything like that. So you got to reward the people who earned the first and second seed somewhere or another. So the way we rewarded them is to give them rest. They only play one game while the wild card teams have to play each other to fight for that spot to play the first and second seed. So I feel it's fair.
I think it's fun. I think it makes the game better. And people say you got a disadvantage. Well, you also have the advantage that you got that sweat. You got you hype, you ready to go. While this team just got there and they're cold. They may start off slow. So I think we have an advantage. You can see one of the games, you know, you may start off hot, but then, you know, you get cold. So it can work out both ways, I would say. You know, we had a forfeit, just to let y'all know, first and foremost. Riot Squad was supposed to play Wyman. Once again, Riot Squad going through problems they went through all season. Guys not coming on time. Guys showing up late. Guys not knowing the time of the game. And it was called a forfeit. So Wyman was able to sit the first game, not play nobody, watch the game, practice, warm up, to face LPAC in the next round. Unfortunately, this is something that Riot Squad went through all season.
I mean, I feel like more than just that they had problems, I felt that a lot of the guys weren't really concerned enough to be able to be there on time, ready to play, whatever. Even Pig actually showed up, you know, in crutches, you know, ready to watch his team, you know, cheer his team on, and they didn't show up. Half the team didn't even appear. So, I mean, it shows, oh, we don't really care. It's not that important. And on a playoff game, I mean, come on, man.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that this team was actually a good team. This team can compete. This team beat Reckless. You know, this team beat YMM. So they beat a lot of big teams also. But unfortunately, they didn't show up. So, which is what they got to forfeit during the season also. So, unfortunately, we won't get into the game because there was no game. So, they evidently took the forfeit. We're going to get into the first game, which is Hunts Point versus Black Stallions. This game, to me, started off kind of slow. We actually seen the end of Dap's season. Dap did not throw. Clark was their quarterback. And it's amazing how the kid started here to end up here.
Well, I feel, in all honesty, you put him there. You know, from that one first game, you know, that game against LPAC or whatever, you know, that they won. They scraped by 7-6. So it's not like he was the one who really, you know, won the game for them. You know, he wasn't really there. You know, let's not put him at a high pedestal the way you did. You saw, oh, everybody talking 14 already. No. I feel he was never really there. You know, his team played for him, and maybe that's why it made him look good, but I'm sorry, he wasn't there.
Listen, at the end of the day, we thought he had the talent. I thought he had the time to get it done. It didn't get done. So he didn't start. So now getting into the game. Clark starts out. The game starts slow. Hunts Point on a slow track. You know, Black Stallions, if you see it, was able to make a big throw in the beginning of the game. Mm-hmm. But then after that, the very next play, Clark with the interception. Clark is definitely an all-star. He should have actually have been. He should be up there, I should say, for MVP. This dude has done it both sides of the ball. I think his numbers, because he didn't have great numbers quarterbacking, it hurt him for the MVP running, but that's not his fault. He don't have, other than Josh and Petta, I hope I'm saying his name right, he has no other receivers. And Josh does not like to go over the middle. Josh is a straight down the sideline guy. Petta's the main guy inside the middle. You know what I mean? He only had them two guys, so unfortunately, their offense was kind of slow. So as you can see, like I said, Clark got an interception. You know, then, you know, Hunts Point gets the ball. Clark gets sacked. You know, to me, Clark scrambles a little too much. He has a little hop step he does to try to shake the defenders. And if you have a fast, aggressive ball giver, I don't think it's going to work. So as like you can see, like I said, he gets sacked. And then if you look then, he gets sacked again. Unfortunately, same situation, receivers not getting open. But then if you look here, Clark throws an interception. I don't understand. He's been giving a lot of balls back to the other team. And now you got Black Stallions with the ball hyped up in the game.
Well, in all honesty, after that interception, I don't necessarily see much happening. But there was this one huge touchdown play by Mike in the end zone. You know, it was a toss-up play. Mike had two defenders on him, and he caught the ball on him. You know, unfortunately, there's an issue that we had in the league. After you catch a touchdown, excessive taunting. You know, he hands the ball to the guy. I mean, come on, we don't need that. So, you know, big, good, nice play.
But now, wasn't this the time when they benched Tico?
Yes.
They had Jesus. I think it was Jesus I was through for.
Yeah.
They benched him. You know, he wasn't, as he threw 2 interceptions to Clark. Mm-hmm. So I guess this playoff time, people, you can't wait and worry about somebody's feelings. They were smart. They benched him. The next quarterback came in, was able to find their MVP, Black Stallions MVP, Mike, for a touchdown. So I think that was a great idea to switch him up. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't think it was consistent enough. Mm-hmm. You know, he was able to find another touchdown to one of their other newer players, but unfortunately, it wasn't able to be consistent enough. They had a scuffle with Hunts Point, almost had a fight. You know, so Josh disappeared this game, wasn't able to find the end zone like he usually does. You know, so I think eventually you had Hunts Point winning this game. The score was, I believe, 25-12. Mm-hmm. Hunts Point was actually the number 6 seed, and Black Stallions was number 3. But everybody had figured that Black Stallions was a weak number 3 seed because they actually won 2 games on forfeits. They beat Riot Squad on a forfeit, and they beat New Breed by a forfeit. So I think this is what kind of propelled them over to be the number 3 seed. But I don't think they were actually a number 3 seed. So unfortunately, they had the loss. So, you know, it's unfortunate. You know, we want to thank them for being here. It bothers me because, again, we haven't given them a lot of credit, but they haven't really showed us anything. So, unfortunately, Black Stallions are not here no more. They're out. So right now, you get to see them go fishing.
Yeah, right now, you know, Black Stallions have a lot of free time on their hands. You know, they want to get away from it all and have a relaxing fishing time, you know. As you can see, Stephen J is giving a horrible rendition of it. I mean, where did he get that prompt from? You know, the hat he borrowed from somebody, and, you know, I don't know. It's all wrong. Don't do this anymore.
Listen, the team has a lot of time now, and that's basically fishing. I would like to go with them. I already got my fishing gear. As you see, I got my shirt, got my hat, I got my pole. You know, unfortunately, cutbacks in the UFL budget. We have to get a stick.
You'll be laughed off the boat if you take something like that.
It don't matter. At the end of the day, we all got free time, which Black Stallions have free time. So enjoy their time fishing, Black Stallions. Enjoy it. We'll see y'all next season. Well, the next thing we're going to get into is the YMM LPAC game. Now, this season, you know, as you know, YMM challenged LPAC. YMM lost to LPAC when they called them old and stuff like that. So I think LPAC was hyped for this game. This playoff game, I don't think there was this hype, which is ridiculous to me that you're not ready for your number 2 seed. You beat this team already. You should be hyped and say, you know what, I get the card stacked in my favor. It didn't seem like they came out like that.
And then YMM, they was fresh because they didn't have to play Riot Squad.
Which helped them.
That helped them. Then they showed some unity. They got jerseys now.
Wow.
They all seem unified. You know, they all playing together. This is something that Caesar mentioned that, you know, he wanted to show that they are unified. It even says it on their jersey. Unity is on their jersey. So, nice jerseys, nice showing that they're all unified for the playoff game. And I feel like they were hyped from the beginning.
I think this team has an us against the world mentality. They go out and they're like, you know what? It's us against everybody else. So we're not here to make friends. We're not here to be your peoples. We're here to beat you and get it over with. And they also had Riot Squad, who they wanted, because Riot Squad also beat them this season. But they didn't get to face them. They were happy about that, even though they kind of regretted it. They really wanted to face them. But, hey, they're here after that championship. So they'll take the rest, they'll rest up, and then they play LPAC. LPAC, to me, didn't have the same energy. There was a lot of mistakes. You know, they was unable to make consistent passes. You can see right here, this pass behind Herman that Moses go. I think Moses started off kind of slow, but then he picked it up. But I don't think LPAC players helped them. Plus, I think YMM was just too much to handle. As you see right here, Wise, you know, got blasted by Rico. As you see here, let's slow down that hit. Did you see that? Now, ever since we know Wise lost weight, and I think, you know, even though it made his game on the field faster, he started off great in the beginning of the season, disappeared during the season. I don't know if it was because the issue with him and the quarterback wasn't on the same level. You know, they didn't have any unity, which I don't understand because they play together. I don't know if it was maybe that Wise was too concerned with other things on the field, but he completely disappeared after the first game. And then I don't know, like I said, that weight loss, it helped his speed, but now it hurt him because we've seen Wise get hit a lot this season that in the years past wouldn't have happened. As you see, once again, look at it. Rico, clean hit, hands out, levels him.
And that saves the actual reception.
Exactly.
Because that was actually a decent throw to Wise. But obviously, Rico was there to break it up with a nice hit.
Exactly. So then, you know, LPAC was eventually able to move the ball down the field. And luckily, this ball, as you saw, this ball right here, should have been intercepted. But it was tipped to Herman. Herman was able to score and do the salsa. As you can see, here he goes right here. Here's the salsa right there. Slow it down a little bit. Let's hear the music. Yeah, I like that. That's the salsa right there. Touchdown. Hopefully got the team into the game. But again, YMM right back at it. You know, these guys are not scared of anyone. Anyone in this league.
And one thing I gotta say is, the main person, if you're playing against YMM, we already said it. The person that you have to watch is Ralph. the quarterback, because he is going long on the field. He is going for it all. And from beginning to the end, that's how he's been playing, and he actually played like that in this game as well, and he was successful at it.
Look at that bomb right there. He found Rico.
Ralph to Rico, I mean, this is what we've been seeing all season. So how can they not see this coming? And it seemed like Ralph is so comfortable in that backfield. I mean, in the pocket, he's just throwing the perfect pass to Rico, wide open for the touchdown.
The question that I have for you is, what duo this season has been better than the Ralph and Rico connection?
It's hard to say.
R&R. That's what they call it. R&R.
I mean, it's hard. I mean,
I thought of that just to let you know. So when y'all say R&R, let them know, okay?
that I guess he's patented.
Yeah, I'm letting y'all know. I'll sue y'all. So like I said, Ralph and Rico.
And it seems all natural. The ESP is there. It's just something that just naturally happens. And I haven't seen such a natural pairing on the field since, I mean, it's hard to
me,
say.
the last one I seen like that I've seen was last year, Fred to Moss.
Yes.
Or Shaq to Swag. You know, those are the combos that I've seen that I haven't seen this. They just know where it's going to be at, where it's going to go. So then we have, once, like I said, we have them scoring again. Then, you know, what? YMM was able, L-Pac was able to
score with a nice touchdown pass to Smokey. He gets through in the middle and gets a nice touchdown pass thrown to him by Moses. So Moses, when he's supposed, you know, the routine throws, he should, you know, he makes it here, but then he doesn't always make them. So, you know, he was able to make it here to keep them in the game, but when you're not consistent, it kind of hurts at the end of the day.
Well, if you look at the end of this other play right here, we only got the ending because Ghost was on the other field. He caught the ending. Swag got beat with the chair. Big time.
Yes.
Right down the sideline. They ran the chair on him, and then you can see this touchdown. Look at the pose. I just love the pose, and I love the fact that you recorded. Just look at the pose.
I mean, I was waiting for him to, you know, see if they were celebrating. I guess that was a celebration right there. Like, who you put on me?
Yeah.
It's like, did you see who you just put on me, you know? I guess that was his reaction. I don't know. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying. He just stood there just looking around like, did you see what just happened, you know? So that's just 100% confidence right there. He knew that he had Ty beat on a chair, and he's just, you know, like it's nothing.
And Swag is an all-star, but what do we say? You put a fast defender on him, and not only it causes him not to be able to cheat. He has to respect the speed, and because he didn't have no help behind him, it was miscommunication. Swag didn't know that that was his man because he evidently thought the safety was going to pick him up. The safety wasn't there on that
And
play.
then you just got to give it to the receiver. Beautiful chair route. I mean, routes are something that gets you open.
Yes.
And it seems like Ralph saw the route all the way, threw it right to him.
Yeah. And as you can see, I think that was Jesse with the catch for the touchdown. So this team was on fire. Evidently, YMM was able to go up, you know, and L-Pac attempted, Danny was able to get a questionable touchdown. It looked like he pushed off for the pass interference, you know, but evidently YMM ended up winning this game 25-19. The game wasn't as close as the score indicates. So now that's the end of L-Pac season. Number 2 seed, 5-3. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done. There was questions about Moses throwing all year. You know, and it's crazy that you had a guy whose last year was the MVP of the league. MVP of the league. This year he didn't even make the All-Star game. He wanted to throw. I think he had a lot of faith in his guys. He said, you know, I'm going to do it for the team. It's not all about me.
And then he said that, you know, he just wanted to, you know, do something that he wouldn't normally do. He wanted to have fun.
Right.
He wanted to, you know, take the helm and throw and have fun. But the thing about it is, you know, I guess he learned that it's a lot of stress being the quarterback on the team, knowing that everybody's looking at you to help the team move forward. And it's a lot of stress, so it didn't seem like he had as much fun as he wanted to.
He threw this game. He threw actually well this game. Unfortunately, L-Pac defense was not able to stop.
So you can't necessarily put it all on Moses. I mean, of course, you know, they had a hard, you know, game on offense because YMM has a good defense.
Right.
Especially with Rico roaming out there.
Right.
They have a defense that's up there. A defense you have to pay attention to.
Right.
And you can't put it all on Moses and the offense. The defense just wasn't able to check YMM's offense.
Right.
And the thing is, the weak point for Ralph, YMM's quarterback is he's not as consistent throwing short base passes. So, but they gave them the deep pass. They gave up the deep, and that's what Ralph was looking for. He was able to get it 4 times.
Right. So unfortunately, this is the end of LPAC season. Will they come back? We don't know. Obviously, everybody said the Rule G's may come back. We don't know that either. We don't know. The crazy part about it was Swag and Rico went at it all day, and they're going to be teammates in the All-Star game. So I would love to see it. They seem to like each other. It's like a frenemy, you know what I mean? They love to compete off the field, but on the field, you know, they don't like each other. So right now, as always, this ends LPAC season, and now we're going to have to see what LPAC is going to do. We're going to see what LPAC is going to do right now. Unfortunately, LPAC has to go fishing here. You know, I like I said, I'm ready to go, guys. I'm ready to go.
I mean, as you can see, you know, since they have free time, you know, of course, that's the perfect, you know, getaway. You know, Moses and LPAC needs to break. And as you can see, you know, Stephen J caught a big one here. It's like, look at that.
Listen, when you got time on your hands and you can fish, which is LPAC is going to have time to do, you be out there to catch all type of fish. I call this a paper fish right here. You know, definitely ready to cook that up, have the wife chop that up, and we don't know how we're going to do it, but ready to throw that there, and hopefully, as you can see, LPAC will be there to join me this season. So, good luck next year, LPAC. You get to join the Stallions fishing. The next game we have is going to be Reckless versus Hunts Point. Hunts Point just coming off of win of beating the Black Stallions. Reckless coming in #1 seed. This team started off slow. It was 0-2. Then they won like 4 straight. This team's been on fire. The end of the season with 5-3 record. I think this team's amazing. They have a candidate for Coach of the Year, which is Horse. They have a candidate for Quarterback of the Year and MVP, which is Bug. They got a candidate for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, which is Bishop. And they got another candidate for Defensive Player, which is Black at Ballgiver. This team has been lights out this season. You know, I mean, I think they've been a surprise. When you start off 0-2, everybody thought, you know, they're going to be at the bottom. But Horse said he wasn't worried.
I mean, but the thing about it is, a lot of these guys are talented. They have Filet out there. They have Bug. They have Sticky, who's an all-star.
Yeah.
They have Bishop. I mean, this team, they have a nice team. On paper as it was. You know, they were 0-2 because they come off like they started off slow. But then they got the engine running. And then that's when it was over for everybody else.
Right.
Especially with Bishop. Roaming in the backfield on defense, no quarterback is safe with Bishop roaming out there.
Well, saying that alone, game starts off right away. Bishop interception right away. Right off the bat.
If you look at the beginning of the play, this is how you define who's a defender and who's just a person who's able to catch.
Yeah.
Bishop from the beginning was watching Clark throughout the whole play.
Right.
He saw exactly where he was going, where he was throwing it to, and then he jumps and takes that ball.
If you slow it down right here, you can see the ball coming down. And Bishop, like you said, look at the beginning. He was watching the play from the beginning, then speed it up. He was able to run, jump that route, get the team started good.
And this is what he's been doing all season. So it's not like, oh, it just happened. This is something he's been doing all season, no matter what team he plays.
I think he should be up there for MVP.
And this one thing, I spoke to him, and he said, it doesn't necessarily matter what game it is. It doesn't matter how high up in points we are. He said, even if we're losing, I come in and I do my job. And that's what you need on your team.
And then you got Reckless, you know, big pass by Bug. Already starting up the fire. Like I said, they was able to move the ball. Big pass. There was the question that Henry got tagged on this play. If you look at it, it looked like he kind of missed. But, you know, the football gods said that he missed them. So what they did, the very next play, they was able to find Sticky for a touchdown. Like 2 plays later, Sticky ended up scoring. So they was able to get the touchdown, even though we all said that it looked like the tag was missed, but from a ref's angle, it's hard to see that tag. So now they're able to score. And then, you know, Hunts Point coming off of a big win against Blackside, #6 seed. To me, the receiver, the top receiver is Josh. You know, Josh has been up, he's been down, he's a young kid. He's better on the outside than he is on the inside. As you see right here, Clark goes to him, big drop by Josh. This kid is inconsistent. He's an all-star, but he got to make these plays. If you want to be named as one of the top receivers in the league, These are catches you gotta make.
And then the other potential all-star, Pete, which is their tight end, he was absent this game. He was big the last game against Black Stallions. He was absent this game.
Yeah.
He didn't really have nothing on him today.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to, get open and have any big plays this game. And they missed him out there.
Yeah, they needed him this game, especially for a team like Reckless.
Yes, this is a game where if he's not getting any decent receptions, he's not getting any yardage for the team, they're not as successful out there.
Right.
So I feel like this is a time when they needed him and they didn't have him. They got one touchdown play to Rob, but that was about it. That's all I noticed.
Yeah, Rob was only able to score, but by this time, it was like the game was over. It was close, but it was like Hunts Point never seemed like they really felt that they had an opportunity to win. Then obviously, then you see this big catch by Josh. Finally, he shows up. So at the end of the game, he's able to score. But then they get stopped on that drive. So it's like, okay, all for naught. Then Bishop.
Well, he wasn't able to score, but
yeah, I mean, it was like all for naught. He made a big play, but he wasn't able to find the end zone. But it was like, where were you the whole game? And then evidently Reckless able to score again. Bishop once again, he got an end toe. And now he got a touchdown. That's what he's been doing all season. And then, Hunts Point was able to pick this ball off, running back for 2 points. But by this time, the game was already over. Reckless was able to stop and take the win 13-8. I think Reckless is the team to be reckoned with. But they got to understand, now they're facing YMM. YMM is not Hunts Point. YMM beat Reckless this season. Quite apparently, it wasn't even close. They beat them. So these young kids against these older veterans, I think they're going to give them problems. So, it's going to be a great game. The key is Bishop to see Josh against Bishop. Josh on offense being guarded by Bishop. That's the matchup I want to see.
And another matchup is to see Clark floating out there watching Rico on offense. So,
well, you're talking about in the All-Star game because Clark is out now.
Oh, no, not Clark. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Rico playing against Bishop on offense.
Vice versa.
Exactly.
Because they both play both sides.
Yes. So they're going to be going at it all game.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see.
And these are the two best players on both of these teams.
And they're actually battling for the defensive player / MVP spot.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be a big matchup throughout the game on both sides.
Right. So, unfortunately, this is going to put an end to Hunts Point season. They was able to beat the number 3 seed, so they got to be happy about that. This team needs a quarterback. Clark did as best he can, but he's better as a playmaker than he is as a quarterback. If this team can go out and get a quarterback, I think they could give a lot of teams in this league problems.
Because even in this game, he had a big interception to help them get on offense. It didn't help them too much to score, but Clark he plays his game on defense. And I feel he should stay out there. He's a person who needs to be out there leading defenses. Not to say that he's supposed to be their captain, but he's supposed to be the one leading by example. And it's hard to do that when he's playing both sides. So I feel like maybe next season, if he comes back with Hunts Point, or if he comes back with another team, that they should, keep him on defense.
Yeah. So right now we're gonna see Hunts Point, just like the last team. They're gonna have a lot of vacation time now. They don't gotta worry about playing next week, getting up early. So maybe now you can see them going fishing. All right. The next game we're going to talk about is Untouchables versus Ball So Hard. Unfortunately, it wasn't really much to talk about. Untouchables was able to beat them 28-7. And this game was over early. You had Simple, if you look at this play right here, Simple had a touchdown catch. But by that time, it was a laugher. It wasn't really worth watching. You could see them scoring at will. And it seems like Ball So Hard was out of this game early. I mean, it was at halftime, I believe it was, 7-zip?
Yeah.
So I don't understand what happened the second half to Ball So Hard.
I mean, I guess it just, their defense couldn't hold. I mean, they were able to score once on offense. There was a touchdown pass to Malcolm, who, towards the end of the season, he became an actual decent receiver rather than a quarterback. He's a tall guy. He's able to run certain routes, and he's able to get open. So I feel like he should stay at that position rather than quarterback. But other than that, I mean, they had the extra point by Dutch, but nothing else I could say. Just like sack by Bread. But other than that, their team was pretty much quiet throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, if you can see right here, this interception It's one of 3 that Mike will throw for the day. So I think they ended the season 0-8. First 0-8 team to make the playoffs, but they got it because Newbury dropped out. This team needs to rebuild. They do got 2 All-Stars, Tay and Julian made the All-Star team. So they got that to work on. They need a quarterback. This team needs a quarterback bad. There was rumors that, they was considering going after Crazy. There was rumors that they was considering going after Spaz. And what we saw basically after that Brick Squad game, the guys was unhappy with the stuff that happened with Crazy. So maybe Spaz uses this opportunity to go on quarterback for Ball So Hard. And maybe take Preach, because when we get into the other game, you'll see Preach is a very good tight end. But we'll talk about that later. Ball So Hard needs a quarterback. And I think they should look into talking to Spaz. As I know, you get in contact with me, and you let me know you're a free agent, you're considering being a free agent, and you let me know, and I will anonymously. Yes, you try to say that. Get in contact with the team that you'd like to be a part of. I'll speak to them confidentially, and if they're with it, you'll sign, and the league will know. If they're not with it, then it won't even come out. So your team won't even know that you was attempting to leave. It'll be between the staff and you. So I think that's a good idea, because you have a lot of guys that are questioning staying with teams, possibly moving on. I heard there was teams interested in certain players. So evidently that game was over 28-7. There wasn't many highlights. Like I said, it was a laugher. You can see certain plays here. The game by this time was pretty much over. Next game we're going to get into was a very exciting game, which was Underrated versus Brick Squad. I actually picked Underrated to win this game. I figured that Brick Squad was going to lose the game towards the end, and I ended up being right, I guess.
I mean, I actually picked Brick Squad to win the game only because they were, hot towards the end of the season. They had a 3-game winning streak prior to their bad loss to the Browns. A lesson was taught to them in that game. But other than that, they played really well towards the end of the season. They were very energetic towards the playoffs. They was finally starting to come together. And, this game, they fought hard. They played hard as always. That's one of the reasons, one of the qualities why I like this team. Mm-hmm. Just as well as I like Underrated as well. But at the end of the day, they came up short, towards the end of the game. I mean, one person who came up big for Brick Squad, I could say, is Preacher. He had 1 TD. He had a lot of receptions. They need to go to him a lot more. As you can see, there's certain plays that I can point out where he's open, and Crazy doesn't necessarily see certain parts of the field. It's like he's focused on certain parts of the field. He's already rolling out by the 3rd rush that he doesn't see certain guys open. So Preacher needs to become the safety valve, step up, and have Crazy dump off that ball to him, because he's getting sacked a lot. Crazy got sacked 3 times this game, and a lot of those, sometimes cost the drive for them. So things need to be done at the quarterback position. I'm not saying that Crazy can't quarterback for them, but mistakes need to be corrected.
He has to know to look for his guy Spaz, and he has to look for a Preacher, because Underrated is not a team known for sacking the quarterback. So if they was able to get 3 sacks, that means Crazy was holding the ball so long. And then on the other side, Underrated, they actually 2 guys really stepped up, which was MJ and Robert. Robert really took off. Robert is like a Wes Welker type receiver. He's dangerous in the slot. He gets lost because he's not the tallest guy, but he got a lot of speed and good hands. If you look here, right here, he had a nice big catch here, downfield. And then if you look here, he had a big catch actually on Crazy guarding him, which was a great play. And then if you look at this next play right here, he was able to catch a touchdown. So, I mean, this guy really showed up. And MJ also had, if you look here, this is one of his 2 touchdowns for the day. So this team actually had game players, big playmakers. MJ and Robert also are their all-stars for this game. So, as you can see here, Brick Squad attempted to make the comeback, but evidently threw the interception, ending the game, and they ended up losing the game 19-13. That pushes Underrated to move on to play the Browns, and Brick Squad, unfortunately, is going to go fishing. with ball so hard. I mean, the way we'll wrap it up for them is Brick Squad competed this year. They did better than they did last year, actually. But they just got to learn to be unified, be as a team. They actually had 3 All-Stars, which was, they actually had 4. Crazy made it as a quarterback. Boss made it, number 80. Spaz made it as a tight end. And Milo, the sack leader, made it. You know, and Milo also had another sack this game.
Yeah, he actually had 2 sacks this
So
game.
this guy is big. He's definitely up there in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he should be respected because he changed the game. He's able to change the game.
And I feel that when he's not involved, when he's not actually able to attack the quarterback, especially on the blitz as a linebacker, where he can either drop back or blitz in, you know, he's not as effective. The defense kind of, you know, has a harder job for them. You know, it gives the safeties chances to cheat. When he's rushing the quarterback, you know, they could attack the ball better. And that's how Crazy was able to get 3 interceptions as the safety this season. So Spaz also had 2 interceptions this year. So the defenders are able to cheat when Malo's actually putting pressure on the quarterback. So I would say alternate. Because number 84 is also a person who puts pressure on the quarterback when he also blitzes in. So they need to mix that up. Either have 84 as a ball giver, Milo as a ball giver, mix it up, and keep the quarterback guessing. Because that makes the defense more dangerous.
I think in the offseason they should go out and look for a deep threat. They don't have anybody on our side of really stretch the field. I think they need that, and I think that will open it up for Spaz and Preacher and Boss and all these guys to get open. For Ball So Hard, I think they need a quarterback bad. I think they need another safety. You know, because this season, this team was atrocious. They have a few guys that can make plays. They had guys that you know, can go after the ball. But overall, the team, they were atrocious at the quarterback position. It didn't matter who they had in there. They were horrible. And I think my 6-year-old could throw better than all 3 quarterbacks. She actually would give the team a better chance, I believe, if they had her throwing. So, you know, I
don't even have the energy to argue about how wrong that
Julian,
was.
open the playbook, open the paycheck, you know, the bank book. Go get yourself a quarterback. I heard Preachers, Crazy may be available, Spaz may be available, you know, and I will go after these guys. Because Mike Santos, who they had throwing, is not a starter. He's the guy if your quarterback ain't going to be at the game that you use to throw. So, unfortunately, Brick Squad, Ball So Hard, y'all gotta go fishing. Right now, they're gonna have enough time to concentrate on going to get a deep threat, going to get a quarterback, because they'll be fishing. So if you see here,
so pretty much all they're gonna be doing is, you know, while they have the fishing rods out, you know, they're gonna be discussing on, you know, who they need to switch up on defense, or, you know, who they may need as a quarterback or whatever. They have all the time in the world now, you know, because, you know, they're you know, knocking the bear back, you know, and have the fishing rod out, you know, watching them try to catch one of those big fish roaming out there in the waters, whatnot. But, you know, hopefully with that relaxing, you know, fishing time, they come back energized for next season.
well, as you can see, this is us together. You know, we're ready. You look at this picture right here, we're ready to go fishing with you guys, man. Call us out, we can all sit on the boat and we can talk and we can figure out what we're gonna do and what we're gonna take care of while we got the wises home slicing and ready to cook up these fishies. The next game we're gonna talk about, now that we've seen Ball So Hard and Brick Squad go fishing. You know, I really had a good time with y'all fellas, by the way. But we're gonna talk about the Browns underrated game. Browns actually watched underrated play. Chico got a strategy. And one thing I gotta say about underrated, Sniper Mike was smart. He slowed the game down. He ran a play clock every play. The best way to stop the Browns offense is to keep them off the field. Because you know that Reggie can shred your defense throwing the football. So they kept him off the field. Hopefully he didn't get out. He would get out of rhythm. Unfortunately, I don't think it really worked.
Well, one thing I could say was underrated kept Reggie to throwing one touchdown the whole game. So it was effective in the beginning.
Really?
Yes. Let me explain. It was effective in the beginning, and Underrated was able to score early with a big pass to Robert early. They went right to him early. You know, they was able to score 6 points. A pass to Joe.
Yeah.
And you know, that's when the floodgates open.
Yeah, because the Browns figured, why should we use Reggie's arm when we're bigger, we're stronger than the team? So what did they do? They ran the football. And all these other teams need to watch how effective they were running the football. This dude, Puka, unbelievable. Unstoppable. Running the ball. But these blockers and his moves, unbelievable. So like I said, they were in the game in the beginning. And I think it was because the Browns was playing with them. And once Robert got hurt, Robert in the thing was talked about, he pulled a hamstring. He was done. He tried to line up on the outside. Darnell locked him up. Puka locked him up. He was ineffective after he pulled that hamstring trying to get by these guys. And as you know, Underrated don't really have anybody else. I think Sniper threw the ball well again this game, but I don't think his receivers helped him. The Browns, Puka ran. He ran 4 touchdowns. Do you hear what I said? He ran the ball. Look at this running play right here. See the moves? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And the Browns was never concerned. Look at this next run. Unbelievable, this team. They wanted to prove to everybody, not only can they beat you in the air, they can beat you on the ground. Underrated was able to stop it.
But it wasn't even, the thing about it was so frustrating because it wasn't even they. It was just one guy. It was Puka the whole way with all of those moves. Every highlight that the Browns had was Puka.
Yep.
You know? And if you, I mean, not to necessarily put us back into week 6, but this is the same guy that caught Sniper diving face first into the snow with that shake move. I mean, everybody remembers that. So my point is, this guy is, I mean, you really got to watch how you know, come after him. Because if he can shake off tags, I mean, just imagine. And he had the whole team shaking throughout the game. So after that, he just broke Underrated spirit after that. Like, it was just over after that. So what else can you say?
Underrated, the Browns ended up winning this game. I think it was about 32 to 6.
Yeah.
This game was over early, second half. But Underrated don't have nothing to put their head down to. We talked all season of they need a downfield receiver. They got one. Robert is a downfield receiver. The question is he coming back? It's a lot of teams watching them.
Well, in all honesty, they always had Robert. It's just that, like we said, certain guys on their team had to step up, and he did, especially in this playoffs, because he's one of the main reasons why they was able to beat Brick Squad in that close game. So he's very effective on the offense, you know, and to their dismay, he got injured in that last game, you know, pulled a hamstring or whatever, but he was very effective in this playoffs. So he's a person who should hold his head up high and say, you know what, I did my job, you know. And Sniper, he actually, you know, listened to a lot of criticism that was given to him. He actually tried to slow the game down. He actually tried to keep them off the field, and it was working.
He threw well.
Until they gave the ball to Puka. Yeah. So I would say you can't take nothing from this team because they played hard and they played smart. It's just the Browns is just too much for them.
And that's secondary. I mean, yeah, we know Robert got busy, but this Browns secondary with Darnell and Reese and Puka, this is a defense. I mean, a lot of people say...
Well, you were saying that they had the best defense.
Yes, I think they still, and they proved it today. They have a very, very, very good defense. And I think they can stop any quarterback from moving the ball the way they want to. Because, I mean, once they figured out Robert, they shut him down. And he overextended himself and got hurt. So this defense is amazing. And for the offense, Reggie's their leader. You know, now he proved why throw when I don't have to and we can run the ball. Which is what they did. Showing that Reggie don't care about numbers. He wants to win. And he did that. He controlled the clock by running the ball. And he knew Underrated was too small to stop the run. So, I mean, they've really, really showed that they can beat you in different ways. And Jingo great coach, great strategy. He didn't take underrated, for granted, but he knew how to attack them. He did that, and the team was ended up being victorious. So now we're gonna talk about the last playoff game, which was MVR versus Untouchables. Now the crazy thing about it is, Fred didn't throw. Tommy threw because Fred, for personal reasons, Fred wasn't here. Will Fred be here next week? We don't know. And that's by saying will Fred be here next week was tell you that MVR won this game. They actually beat Untouchables 18-0. JR threw 2 interceptions. Nothing really good I could say happened. Nut had 2 touchdowns for MVR. Yomi showed that Fred is not here, he can throw. He can get the job done also. This team has a lot of weapons. How are you able to stop all the weapons they got? If you look at these quick highlights, you can see the touchdown passes by Yomi. You can see the interception by these guys. And these are what they're going to do. They're going to swarm the ball. They're going to attack you. And they're going to sit down and they're going to punch you in the mouth early because that's what they want to do. So I think they ended this game early with Untouchables. By the interceptions this guy was throwing, has confused JR look.
I mean, again, one person that came up big again on defense was Macho. And the last couple of weeks, he's been stepping up. And he has another interception in this game as well. So, I mean, they have a great secondary as well. You can't talk less about this team. They're not as loud I guess you didn't notice their defense as much as you noticed the Browns because you said the Browns have the best defense.
Right.
But MVR's defense can give the Browns a run for their money on any given Saturday. So you got to give them their just dues too because they shut this Untouchables team down to 0 points. They couldn't do anything. They had JR frustrated. The team wasn't necessarily able to move the ball in order to score. So, they had the Untouchables out of the game throughout the game. So, they were running around like a chicken with his head cut off, Couldn't get nothing done.
And unfortunately now, that puts Untouchables season over. I think this team needs to get... JR is a good quarterback. I think they need to get a little more discipline. They need guys to show up every week. They need to get everybody on the same page. They have a decent defense. I think they need to put more pressure on the quarterback, blitzing-wise. And they got to get a more inside guy. Because to me, JR likes to go downfield. So I think they need to either find on their team or go to another team, find a guy who can go over the middle, catch a football, for JR don't have to throw so many bombs. So unfortunately, that wraps up the season for Untouchables. That wraps up the season for Underrated. Both for the U's of the league. And they're going to have to go fishing. So once again, as always, we don't want you to go fishing alone. So we got, we're prepared to go fishing. We go fishing with the team. So right now we're going to show Underrated and Untouchables going fishing. As you can see, we're there about to have the dinner, about to cut the fish open. That's a big fish right there, man. I think we did a good job. What do you think?
Well, listen, that thing was a hard one to catch, This guy had to put in some extra in there, I mean, that's the biggest fish I've ever caught.
Okay, we need Brick Squad. We need Underrated and Untouchables to hurry up and get here so they can help us with this fish. They're really catching. It's not like they got a game coming up Saturday. They're both going to be home. So hurry up and get here with the fish. We need a little help. Bring your hats and stuff like that. We already started cutting up the first fish. So hurry up and get out of here, boys. Well, we want to thank all the teams who was here this season. All the teams for showing us, their little fishing trips and stuff like that. Letting us accompany them going fishing this season. And now we got the Final Four. Reckless, YMM, Browns, MVR. First one we're going to get into real quick. YMM, Reckless. They met this season, and YMM was able to win 26-14. It was a good game. YMM put them away. Their 3 stars, which is Rico, Josh, and Jesse, all had a touchdown. That was big. I mean, these guys are. I think it's kind of hard to stop them 3 guys on offense, and you already know Ralph is gonna go downfield on them. Do you think Bishop can slow down this YMM offense?
Actually, I actually think he can. The thing about it was, if you remembered when YMM played Reckless, it was the same as when Reckless played LPAC. In their second game, they were all tired. You know, sometimes, I mean, they came from a different league playing, and then they had a doubleheader, so they were kind of out of it, you know. So, again, they were done during that game. So, they're going to be fresh in this game, hopefully so. And Bishop plays hard in every game. He shows that he can make big plays no matter what team he plays on. So, I feel that he's going to be watching Ralph the whole way. He's one of those guys. He's one of those ball hawks out there. He's going to be watching Ralph from the beginning of the play to the end. So I see Bishop getting at least 2 interceptions this game.
Wow, I mean, offensively, Reckless didn't really do much. I mean, Big John had a touchdown and Sticky had a touchdown. But other than that, the offense was pretty much shut down.
Well,
Jesse had 2 interceptions.
Yes, but I'm going to say this. In terms of Reckless, if you look at how they play, they're not we're going to blow you out by 20 type team. They're a team that lets their defense speak for them. Their offense is pretty decent. You know, they have a lot of guys, a lot of targets out there, but their defense is what speaks for this team. When Bishop is out there roaming, when they have other guys out there, when they have Black rushing the quarterback, they are very dangerous. And this is a defense to watch. This is why they ended the season 5-3. Their defense.
But I don't know if they can slow down this YMM's offense. A lot of teams been finding it hard. Only way I see YMM losing this game if they get ejected. They're known for cursing and known to lose their head. So that's the only way I see them.
And listen, not to keep cutting you off, but one way you play YMM is they're a very emotional team. So just like Brick Squad, how you get them frustrated and they start, you know, attacking each other, I feel that YMM is more united, but you can get them a little upset out there by making them frustrated.
But Caesar keeps them grounded and level-headed, and you also have another emotional team in Reckless, so I think it's going to be a lot of flags.
Yeah, I think it's going to be both sides,
a lot
yes.
of both ways, and I'm going to have to say, I'm going to pick YMM to win this game. I would say, let's say 24-13. I'm going to pick YMM to win this game about 24-13. I think these young boys are on a mission. I think they're going to be a little too much for Reckless to handle.
Okay. Well, I say that it's going to be a close game. I feel it's going to be down to the wire because both teams are so similar. They're very emotional. They have good defenses. They have 2 candidates for MVP out there on defense that can play both sides of the field, offense and defense. They have 2 quarterbacks that love to go deep. Buck loves that deep ball too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's one professional deep ball, deep pass thrower against another. So I feel like this game is gonna go to the wire.
So give me a score. Give me a score.
Okay. I say, I would say Reckless beats YMM 2018.
2018. So I'm going 24-13, and you're going 2018. All right. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think that you really know what you're talking about. But I didn't think you knew what you're talking about all season.
Of course.
And then we got the next game, which is the game that everybody wants to see. Number 1 versus number 2 in MVR versus the Browns.
This is the culmination of the bet me and you had.
These are both teams we picked to be here.
So this is the bet that you offered that bet, and I accepted it. And the bet was that who did you pick to win this game?
I picked matter who I picked in the beginning of the season. I'm not even gonna
But
comment on
you
that.
made that bet,
I'm not
so
even
you
gonna comment on that.
gotta
now.
remember
Listen,
the bet. So you
we're not
gotta
even
remember.
gonna talk about that now. We're gonna talk about what happened in the regular season between these two teams.
There you
Because
go.
I don't know why he's talking about, you picked this team. Listen, everybody wants to know what we think about the game. Last time they played each other, the Browns beat MVR in overtime, 12-6. So it was a close game. I don't know. I mean, Browns was able to pick off Fred twice. Black had one, Darnell had one. So that kind of helped them. And on the other side, they had MVR was able to sack Reggie 5 times. They didn't get an interception, but they sacked him 5 times. Which Reggie isn't gonna force the ball. He's gonna hold it, take the sack. But they were able to sack him. And offensively, the only one who scored on MVR was Alex. He had a touchdown. And on the other side, Puka, this team's MVP, had 2 touchdowns.
And one to seal the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In overtime.
But I'm gonna say this. A lot of guys stepped up on defense for MVR. Macho stepped up. You know, D-Boy had a decent season. You know, Nut played good offense this year. Yomi's been doing well, starting as quarterback, even though they kind of need him as a tight end, I feel. But he's actually performing well as a quarterback, so I feel that since the Browns already knew Fred, you know, Yomi's another a fresh face, I guess, at the quarterback at helm. So it's interesting to see how they'll play against Yomi. It's interesting to see how Yomi will actually perform against the Browns.
Right.
You know, so it's hard to say. I feel like it's gonna be another close game.
I think where the MVR has an advantage is these guys are fast, but they're not big on the Browns defense. And with guys with Yomi going over that middle, I think it's going to be hard to cover him. It takes a lot of space up, you know, and it's going to be hard for these guys to really lock up. Plus, he's tall. I think Yomi's about 6'3".
Yeah, but again, it depends on if he's the one throwing the ball,
right?
Or if he's receiving.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Fred is going to be playing.
Well, we heard a buzz that Fred should be back.
Okay.
I think the whole game plan changed if he's not. But let's just look at it as this to go to championship that he quarterbacks. I think Yomi has a big game. The only issue is we haven't really seen this team go downfield. I think Macho's been a great receiver, but I haven't seen a real speedy downfield wide receiver really show anybody. So, but that, I think that's going to cause the Browns secondary to cheat up, and they may be able to make some plays. On the other way around, defensively, I think they need Ouija to play. Ouija will probably be gone in Puka. You know, you still got Ock, who's been playing well. And I think the fact is D-Boy. You know, if them plays that was thrown, I don't think they get there with D-Boy back there. And the running, this is not underrated. Sean stops those runs. Sean is a big 6'2", looks like about 270.
And he has speed for a tall guy.
So them runs that they were able to get, Sean clogs all that up. And the secondary comes to follow to make the tag. So I don't think that the Browns would be able to run the ball as they did on underrated, which means more throwing for Reggie, which means Ouija and D-Boy gets involved in the game.
And I feel one thing that NVR needs is Ouija to have a big game. He needs to show why he was Defensive Player of the Year last year.
That's true.
You know, because his numbers weren't there. You know, there were certain games where he wasn't always here throughout the season, you know, either playing or not. You know, he was absent. You know, we didn't really see him too much. We need to see him in this playoff game. And I feel that he will be one of the X factors for NVR.
Well, then you got last year's Coach of the Year facing this year Coach of the Year candidate. So I mean, we got a lot of awards up there. You got Fred, who's up there for Quarterback of the Year. You got Sean, who's up there for Defense Player of the Year. You got Reggie's up there for Quarterback of the Year. You got Reggie's up there for Offensive Player of the Year. So it's like you got a lot of things going on in this game. This is a very big game. So what I'm going to do is this game, I would pick, I got the Browns winning this game. You alright?
Go ahead.
You okay?
Yes.
Guys falling asleep. I don't know.
Because
The Browns winning this game I would say about 22-17. I think it's going to be close. About 22-17.
Listen, I feel that they're gonna be a lot closer. Like, just the way.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, see,
I got the Browns. It's gonna be 24-17 Browns.
Okay. I'm just saying, because the way you just said it last time, there was no, like, I was falling asleep there.
24-17.
There was no certainty with your answer.
24-17. Book it. Browns.
Okay. Thank you. That's the energy that I want to see.
24-17.
Okay. And I see actually NVR winning.
Wow. Big surprise.
What?
Go
I
ahead.
feel that they have the potential to win this game.
What's your score?
18-13 NVR.
Wow. So you think the Browns can only put up 13 points?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that NVR has a defense that can play Reggie. I feel that it's going to be a hard game for both teams. And I feel that NVR may scrape by with one last touchdown. So
Anyway, that's our picks, fellas. Down in the Final Four. Hopefully we get the show. You know, the show is up. We're putting it up. A lot of work. It's 2:30 in the morning. We do this for y'all people, man. I mean, it's a lot of work. But we'll end in the season. Hopefully I enjoyed it. I like everything we put. Hopefully this will be up by Thursday. If not Friday the latest, because unfortunately our schedule's conflict. So we have to push the show back a little bit. You know, and we're going to have an easier way to do it next season. It'll be up definitely on Thursday next season. Always on Thursday. We already got a new system that we're going to try next season. So you got our picks. You got our scores. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. You're actually going to see next week show as we talk about the championship. The 161 Under the Sun championship. We're going to show you all-star picks of the guys who make the all-star team. You know, it should be a good one. I'm coaching the East against Sammy's coaching the West. So let's look forward to it. You'll see the award candidates, and we'll take it from there, peoples. So like we'll see y'all on Saturday. We just gave you the times of the game. 10 o'clock, Reckless, YMM, 11:30, Browns, NVR to go to the championship. Hope y'all enjoy. We will see y'all then. This is Stephen J. Smith with Ghost. We'll see y'all next week for the Super Bowl. Have a good one, peoples.